It is the case, the member can confirm it is the case, that his political party has on a number of occasions provided him with substantial legal assistance.
Prime Minister Stephen Harper there trying to switch the focus in the House of Commons. He came out swinging against the Leader of the Opposition about an incident that goes back about a decade. Didn't stop the opposition, though, from keeping up the pressure. The CBC's Rosemary Barton was watching all of this, so question period turned into a series of pointed attacks from both the government and the opposition. What was going on there?
Yeah, the NDP has been unrelenting, particularly Tom Mulcair, in trying to drill down into this whole issue of Mike Duffy, the $90,000 check, and the other check from the Conservative Party fund. And by trying to pull apart the Prime Minister's story and getting him to clarify some of the things that he has said in the past in an attempt to get some answers. And this is what this next excerpt I'm going to show you from question period does. You'll see that Tom Mulcair is trying to present a pretty clear question and trying to get a clear answer from the Prime Minister. Here's how it went.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to give the Prime Minister a chance to be crystal clear and to give a straight answer. Did his Chief of Staff, Nigel Wright, resign, or was he dismissed by the Prime Minister?
Very good. The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Wright and I both agree that his actions are completely inappropriate. That's why he's no longer working for us. And Mr. Speaker, he has accepted the responsibility for his actions. He's being held accountable. And obviously, Mr. Speaker,
for the Prime Minister, it would seem, Rashmi, it doesn't really matter how this unfolded. It only matters that Nigel Wright is now gone. But the fact remains that the Prime Minister had previously said Nigel Wright resigned. Earlier this week, he said that he was dismissed. And this becomes problematic because, of course, the story hasn't been the same. And Tom Mulcair, obviously, they're trying to point it out.
Right. And now the Senate has adjourned until later today, right? What are you hearing about the motions to suspend those 3 senators?
So those motions continue. We are not anywhere near a conclusion on that front. We are heading towards some sort of compromise. At least this is what the Conservative side of the caucus would tell you. Claude Carignan and that group, the Conservative group, now putting forward these motions that would suspend the senators, yes, for 2 years, but would allow them to keep their medical benefits, their life insurance, their dental benefits, those kinds of things. Is that enough to smooth over some of those divisions inside the Conservative caucus? Maybe not, because for some of those people, it is really about due process. The other little thing that they have done, though, in the Senate is that they have made these now government motions. So it would be requiring the senators who have been so public in speaking out against them to vote against government motions. The ramifications of that may be complicated for some of those senators. And certainly, Rashmi, this doesn't appear like it's going to be over in time for the convention, which is what the government really hoped for. So that at very least, when the Prime Minister stands on that stage in Calgary on Friday night, he can say, this is the action we have taken. This is the consequence for these 3 senators. He won't be allowed to do that. And so that also politically becomes problematic for him.
All right, Rosemary, thank you for all of this.
Okay, you bet.